Double honors to the apostles and elders like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh. I'm going to change the title of this live. I'm going to some Israelite form. I'm going to show y'all. Oh shit. Damn. Alright, hold on. Matter. Okay. Hold up. Fuck. Fuck. Let's save it real quick. Fuck. Pain. Alright. Alright. Yeah. I'm going live because this is why I watched that video on by the apostle Rakah. He posted a video of GMS Italia, their video in Italian, Wake Up Sons of Jacob. He posted a video going into it, and hey man, Kahala Yahweh Shemi Shai, the speckled birds, they're waking up around the world. Not just America, around the world. Speckled birds waking up, and You see the, if you ain't seen it, it's a original looking Jake on the left, and the Israelite foreigner on the right, a Sicilian, and you know they're breaking down both of them. They're breaking down scripts, fine, just fine. You know, you can say the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, yeah, you can say the name. Hold on. And he can say the names, and he can break down the scriptures, and he got the correct breakdown, so it shows that he knows the truth and can receive the truth. And this thing is only for Israel, so you know, I gotta be a Jake. So, and there's actually a long history of our people scattered in Italy. You know, even back during the Roman days, you had Jakes scattered in Italy, and the Sicilians are actual descendants of the Moors, who were so-called, like for the most part, you know, go back to the Moors. Who were sons of who were so-called black men. They're Judites. So I mean, this is actually pretty big news, you know. And now we have a Sicilian brother from Italy that woke up, and he is now teaching the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He's now teaching that same doctrine, meaning he can understand it. He can understand it, so he can also teach it. Salakia. Ah, fuck. Afflictions. Hold up. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video and then bring out some scriptures. Damn, tongue is tripping.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Iniziamo questa lezione prendendo lo Hashem Ruach Kadash. E anche ringraziamo doppie lodi agli anziani della Great Millstone che ci hanno insegnato quello che sappiamo oggi, sempre con la volontà del Padre Yahweh. Iniziamo con un versetto, Alex. Sì. Da Giovanni 14. Ah sì. Bene. Giovanni 14, 15.
And they like the apostle Rakah. I think he's apostle Rakah, Apostle Gabar, actually. My bad. The apostle Gabar, he brought it out, and Giovanni basically means John.
Voi mi amate, perseverate i miei
Gio for Giovanni, which means that. Oh, my fucking tongue.
comandamenti, e io pregherò il Padre, ed egli vi darà un altro consolatore, perché stia con voi un perpetuo, lo Spirito della verità, che il mondo non può ricevere, perché non lo vede e non lo conosce. Voi lo conoscete perché dimora con voi e sarà in voi. Se voi mi amate, conoscete. Se voi mi amate, osserverete i miei comandamenti. Se noi oltre.
And the scripture that he was going over is John 14:15, I believe. Hold up. Just to make sure that I'm actually getting the right scripture. Hold up. I believe it's
Un'altra lezione, prendendo le parole, vediamo.
Okay, I'm going with something else there. John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. It's the verse he was going into.
Osserverete i miei comandamenti. Se noi oltre a osservare, se noi crediamo, temiamo il nostro Padre Onnipotente, osserviamo i suoi comandamenti, perché è la nostra legge. E se noi osserviamo i suoi comandamenti, lui ci dà un alto consolatore, suo figlio, Yahweh Shai. Lo Spirito Santo. È lo Spirito Santo che porta con lui. Perché
You know, Spanish, Italian is
disse
kind of
Giovanni Battista quando battezzava con l'acqua, disse: arriverà colui il giorno che vi battezzerà con il fuoco, cioè con lo Spirito Santo. E questo vale a dire, significa che la verità del Padre e del Figlio è il nostro vero battesimo. È lo Spirito Santo che riceviamo con questa verità, è il nostro vero battesimo. E con questo io voglio andare oggi a vedere insieme a mio fratello Alex il regalo più importante dopo il figlio Yahweh Shai che ci ha fatto il nostro padre Yahweh, nel quale tengo a specificare che Yahweh non è un nome comune di persona, perché non possiamo dare un nome all'Altissimo, non possiamo dare un nome all'Eterno, perché è troppo grande, lo sminuiamo
like a
da
Northern
noi,
Kingdom brother, to be honest. A lot of
che ha un
Sicilians actually
significato
look
è
like
colui che è, colui che è grande, colui che sa tutto, colui che è sempre stato e colui che sempre sarà.
It's very recent. It's not that long ago when they. E poi vorrei aggiungere a quello che ha detto il fratello. Noi sappiamo che si chiama Yahweh dallo spirito di profezia che attraverso i nostri anziani e apostoli della Great Millstone. E se guardate i ritrovi antichi che hanno trovato dove il suo nome è stato scritto nelle scritture, anche sulla tavola dei Moabiti, questa è un'altra lezione. Prendendo le parole vediamo che la traduzione vero, come è scritto nelle scritture, il suo nome è Yahweh, non è Geova, non è Dio, non è niente altro, perché non sono il suo nome, è come, perché non si può cambiare il nome del creatore. No, lui, il più importante senso della nostra vita, non possiamo cambiare il nome. È dall'antico ebraico che gli anziani della Great Millstone, illuminati dal Padre, hanno trovato
quello che ha risvegliato in noi lo Spirito Santo, e dall'antico ebraico tradotto è stato tradotto in nome del Padre e in nome del Figlio, che oggi ci danno la possibilità di ritrovare noi stessi, di essere noi stessi, e quindi quando andiamo a leggere le scritture di capirle come nessuno può, perché il suo popolo benedetto, gli ebrei, gli israeliti, quelli che siamo noi, e poi dopo vi andremo a spiegare chi sono i veri ebrei, i veri israeliti. Solo loro possono capire la verità del Padre. Eh sì, e anche il figlio si chiama Yahweh Shai, no Gesù, no, non è niente altro come il mondo ce lo fa capire. Abbiamo anche la traduzione dalla lingua ebraica antica. Il nome è Yahweh Shai, non Gesù. Gesù è un nome greco, cioè uno ebraico non lo puoi dare un nome greco che non rende la pronuncia del suo nome nella lingua ebraica. È come mio fratello se ha il nome di Antonio e lo chiamo Angi, non è la stessa cosa, ok? Quindi dobbiamo fare attenzione anche da questo punto di vista. Scusami, Patrizia, che non si può neanche paragonare a nessun umano, perché il re dei giusti, colui che è il nostro Salvatore, Yahweh Shai, non ci dobbiamo permettere di profanare il suo nome, il quale è così importante per noi. E dietro questa verità, dietro la verità del nostro Salvatore, andiamo a leggere i comandamenti del Padre, che sono il secondo dono più grande.
It defeats that whole agenda of labeling us black Hebrew Israelites. Like this Sicilian Jake, he's not someone that you could call so-called black. He actually looks more Northern Kingdom, really. So I mean that narrative of, oh, they're black Hebrew Israelites, it doesn't add up.
Che lui ci ha fatto, perché dopo averci creato, dopo averci dato lo spirito, che è lo stesso spirito che ha dato a suo figlio, il suo figlio primogenito diletto, Yahweh Shai, ha dato anche a noi, attraverso il suo popolo, il primo popolo. E andiamo a leggere i comandamenti. Prima che leggi i comandamenti, vorrei leggere un precetto qua, che si trova in Ecclesiaste, ok? Capitolo 12, versetto 15, che dice: ascoltiamo dunque la conclusione di tutto il discorso. Delle scritture. Eh sì, perché
GMS, like-minded Akim, like that.
Dobbiamo
chapter 11. The Gentiles shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And Sicily, hey, that's one, that's one of the islands of the sea. The ones that was being spoken of in that time. Because original inhabitants of Sicily, they were Japhetic people, and they was talking about that. About the islands that they lived in, basically. Basically, Jake is going to be scattered everywhere. Yeah. Verse 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. And that the Sicilians, they're descendants of who? The Moors, which were so-called black people So the Sicilians, oh yeah, Khan, he's speaking in Italian. Hey, he's speaking in tongues. Hey, but what the Sicilians, they descendants of Judah. They one of the dispersed of Judah. Oh, Esau missing with the stream, of course. Esau gets real shook when a speckled bird wakes up to the truth and actually starts prophesying, starts bringing it out. Cause hey, that's this right here. Like, he's scared this happening. Our people coming back from everywhere, from all these heathen nations that they were scattered to, and so Esau can't demonize us and can't paint it as a black and white thing, even though those are not even real skin colors. He can't divide and conquer Israel no more. Hey, that's also hey, what's happening now? You know, what's happening now first happened in Acts after, like, during Pentecost. But that was, hey, when there was Jakes coming from all over. They were speaking all kinds of languages, and you know, and the apostles, they was actually given that the ability to teach in these other languages. Nowadays, it's brothers that know these different languages. They can teach in those different languages and wake up Israelites that they don't know English. But they know Italian, for example. You know, hey, and then there's truth going out all over the world to the four corners. So, I mean, not all these people speak the same language. Obviously not. Yeah, but first happened Acts chapter 2. There was Jakes from. Let me just bring out the verse. These were the times when you didn't have the internet, so you couldn't just translate it or learn a language like that, like you can now. So this is how it happened back then. Chapter 2, verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. Verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. Y'all know what happened. Verse 3. And there appeared unto them cloven in tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. So basically the Ruach Kadash fell upon upon the apostles. That's verse 4. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and they began to speak in other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. Verse 5, these were Jakes, and they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men, out of every nation under earth. Yeah, every nation, these were all Jakes, which tells you what that means. You know, why we have to go to every nation. Well, why do we have to preach His truth unto all nations? Because Jake is scattered among all nations, looking like the other nations. You know, not just there, but they've been there like for generations, so they're gonna look like the other nations. And when, yeah. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. Verse 7, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how we every man in our own tongue, how hear we every man in our own tongue, when we were born. And it had verse 9, Parthians, Persia, and Medes. So Persia, Medes, they was north of Persia, you know, that's Russia area, Central Asia. The modern day Medes, what are they? The Russians. And Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia. Verse 10, Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes. You know, strangers of Rome, right? Where they at? Where they at? Italy. I don't know if he's in the Rome, Italy, or to the north of it, but they in that area. And you had Jake in Italy even back then. Jews and proselytes. But, you know, note verse 5, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation on earth. So, you know, this had to be that some knew that they were Israelites and some didn't, and they was basically, they were brought into the fold. Because the Pharisees would do that. They would go to these different, they would go to these other nations, and they would actually try to convert people, you know, because he knew Jake was scattered among the Gentiles. Yeah. Alright, verse 11. Crete and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh. So, Crete and Arabians, so Jakes that were scattered all over. And so, back then, you know, this is how it had to be brought out. Because it was a different time back then, different technology. But nowadays, you know, you could learn a language, or you could learn a language, you know, on these different apps, or you could know a brother that know more than one language, and he can help you with that. And you can, even have Google Translate and shit like that as well. So you have different ways of translating a message from one language to another that you didn't have back then. Are these devils still fucking with the stream? I think they might be fucking with the stream still. Yeah, Esau stayed missing with my live. That's cause these devils, they hurt. You know, hey, and the true definition of speaking tongues is not like that shit that they show you, like shit that these televangelists show you. It's not that, you know, speaking that just random gibberish. Nah, man, it's speaking the actual language. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, 1 Corinthians, where is it talked about? 1 Corinthians 14, verse 27, 28. Let me get that. That tells you what that means. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 27. But if any man speak in an unknown tongue, let it be by 2, or at the most by 3, and that by course, and let one interpreter. Let one interpret. Verse 28. But if there be no interpreter, let him keep silent in the church, and let him to speak to himself and to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, hey, you see them so-called Christians in them churches that them churches so-called speaking in tongues, you know, nobody knows what they're saying. So, you know, there is no interpreter, you know, because it's not a language. It's not a language that they're speaking, you know. Like it's not an actual language, basically. So it's just it's basically it's nonsense. Basically, it's not the biblical definition of speaking in tongues. But hey, what do you expect? So-called Christianity, it's so-called Christianity. They're not gonna teach you the truth about that either. Yeah, man. That's also how Jake is waking up, cause hey, you had the elder. Let me get the elder's video. You had the elder, well, Apostle Gabar actually. He had mentioned that we put out some videos in Italian
of the nation of Israel.
Let me get to it actually.
Vision you got to have in your head. You know the scripture. Where there is no vision, what happened to the people? They perish, as it is written. I'll put it in the comment section. If I'm wrong, I'll let you brothers know. Anyway, yeah. So vocab's work is a work of vanity. That's the point I'm making. Even your man, Dr. James White, denounced the shit you do in vocab. He's not a big fan of Islamicize me. He's not a big fan of that. He's not a big fan of what David Wood did. All right? I actually said his name correct. David Wood, you know, and eating that page out of the Quran. You know, he's not a big fan of that. You know? So you guys, your work is a work of vanity. You guys are going nowhere with that that comical nonsense that you're doing. All right, that's the
It's somewhere around here. I
message
think
I
he
want to say
goes
to you,
into it.
and your work of coming up against us, that's definitely a work of vanity. As you can see, man, brothers in Italy, man, this shit ain't going nowhere, man.
It ain't going nowhere.
You know,
Hey,
talk
if
about
it
you,
be,
vocab. Your
if
nonsense
it
ain't
be,
going nowhere.
if it be of
All right, it's
Yahweh
going
Hashem
nowhere
Yahweh
fast.
Shai, you can't
Right?
defeat it.
Anyway,
It's
here's
actually
the
a
point.
scripture
The
that
14th
says
verse.
that.
For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge
Con,
of the glory of the
that
Lord. Wait a
too.
minute. Whoa,
If
wait a
it be
minute. Is
Yahweh
Italy
Hashem
in the
Yahweh
earth?
Shai. There you go. There you go.
GMS Italia.
GMS Italia.
Italia. How about that? Sweliatevi fili di Giacobbe. Sweliatevi fili di Giacobbe. And I want to say to you, brothers, piacere di conoscerti. Piacere di conoscerti.
Yes,
Brothers know what I said. Pleasure
Talks
to know you.
about
That's
that.
what I said. In Italian. How about that? You know I'm gonna have fun with this. I got to. All right. Habakkuk 2:14 for the.
Oh, Esau's fucking with. Oh, Shalom Akwat. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakatah. And oh, Khan, the brother told me that Esau's fucking with the stream, cause he mad, of course. Of course. Why would these devils not be mad about this? And if you were, hey, if I was Esau, I would be mad about this shit too. Why would they not be mad? Hey. But hey, hold up. I'm trying to get that verse. If it be Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's Acts 5:39. Acts 5:39. Get it. Hey, okay. Let me. Yeah. Acts 5:38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or if this work be of men, it will come to naught. Verse 39. But if it be of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, ye cannot overthrow it. Lest happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because what they was doing was putting hell on the apostles. And what happened, hey, Pharisee, let me go to verse 34, start from there, because then stood up, because Peter and the other apostles, they were basically cutting, they were going in on these wicked ass niggas. They was basically cussing them out. They was going in on them, and what happened? Yeah, verse 33. When they heard that, they were cut to the heart, and took counsel to slay him. So they plotted on Peter. They plotted on Peter and the other apostles. They detained them for prophesying in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's name, and Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai actually had them released from the prison. Actually freed them from the prison, and he actually freed them from the prison. Let me see where it's at. And then they was out. They was out, and they actually what they did was they stood in the temple and they was teaching the people. Fuck. Hold up. Then they was cut to the heart. And they was cut to the heart when they heard that they were cut to the heart and took counsel to slay them. Verse 34, then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had a reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space. Verse 35, and said unto them, ye men of Israel, take ye heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. Verse 36, for before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all so many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. It was someone else that, basically was talking that talk of like he was somebody, right? Like he was gonna do something. Basically, he was gonna do something. He was like basically he was sent from y'all, from the Most High. Basically, he was saying that. But that movement failed. Verse 37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. So, basically there was movements before this. So he was saying, like, these dudes came before, they failed. They wasn't successful at what they was trying to do. Verse 38, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. So if it's of men, it's basically it's gonna fail. It's gonna fizzle out, basically. It's gonna fade out. It's gonna. Hey man, it's not gonna. Whatever they're trying to do is not gonna be successful. Verse 39, but if it be of Yahweh, you cannot overthrow it. This happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh. And so, yeah, you devils and you wicked ass jakes, you trying to stop, you heathens and you wicked ass jakes, you trying to stop this truth from going forth, but it ain't trying to. But it ain't successful. Like, everything you doing to stop this truth that you did to these other movements, it's not working out for y'all. It's like y'all like Wiley the Coyote, trying to chase that road runner. You failing every time. And the call out y'all by Shem, y'all shy for that, for real, all praises, because all these other movements, they've been shown to be basically to be of men, not be legit. They are unsuccessful for our people. You had the Malcolm X's. You had MLK. I mean, look at what that did for our people. It actually made our situation worse. You had You have these other camps that sell out and take the bag, and they're not spraying like this. Hey, like IUIC, they gotta take a plane, go somewhere and preach. Tahar didn't have to take a plane to Italy to preach. Yahweh Shem Yahushai raised up a brother over there. Just like in the Philippines, he raised up a brother there. And there's a Jake that was in Japan, and he woke him up and raised him up. In Australia and these different places. GMS ain't doing, the GMS apostles, they ain't doing no, or the elders, they ain't doing no world tour. It's this word is it's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai waking up these men. He didn't, Apostle Tahar, or the elders, they didn't come visit San Antonio where I lived. They didn't come visit San Antonio and preach to me. Nah, like how I found out, I was led to it. It's literally like that. Yeah, you have the internet, which is around the world, which it does help. It does help to spread this truth. But how many people use the internet around the world? Millions of people. In this truth? No. Not of men. And verse 40, and to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded them that they should not speak in the name of Yahweh Shai, and let them go. Verse 41, and look what happened next. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name. So, did this discourage them? No, it didn't. Verse 42, and daily in the temple and in every house they ceased not to teach and preach Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. So they didn't stop. In fact, they went harder. And it was just fuel for the fire, basically. It was just motivation. Like, yeah, what we're doing is the right thing. We're catching hell for it. And it's these same niggas that killed Yahweh Shai. They're giving us hell too. If it was of men, if it was of men, eventually so much persecution and so much hell would eventually cause it to fizzle out. It wouldn't last like that, Even nowadays, you even hear about the works of the apostles back then. Nowadays, it's been preserved for us. So it wasn't of men, and this movement, this true doctrine being pushed out, the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and the truth that our people have been scattered through the four corners of the earth, but that they mainly are so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans. That truth, it can't be stopped. You have to follow the law, all that. The truth, the truth which has been so long without fruit, it's now bearing fruit. Which have been so long without fruit. Oh, Khan, 2nd Ezra 16, verse 28. Salak is 6, verse 28. That, yeah. As for faith, no, I'm just bring out this one. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption, actually, you know what? Verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. Verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which had been so long without fruit, shall be declared, because our people fell away. Our people fell away and was put into captivity under these devils. And so the truth had been so long without fruit. Our people, like, they've been them dry bones in the valley of dry bones, aka the valley of the shadow of death. But now the dry bones are now coming back together. The dry bones of Ezekiel chapter 37 are now coming back together. This and you devils, you're pissed because y'all can't stop it. You're pissed and you're buffering our lives. Flag. That's what y'all do. But if I was in this thing longer, and if I had more followers, I'd probably have my account flagged or something. And it might happen. Devils might do that shit. I wouldn't be surprised. Esau did that shit. I'd just have to set up another one. But hey, these devils they're coming to that time where they're just gonna shut this thing down completely. They're gonna basically they're gonna censor it openly. Victoria, they actually was arresting people. Victoria, Australia, they was actually arresting people for Facebook posts. And in Australia, they want to pass a law that says that that says that they can detain people who are so-called conspiracy theorists. And because Esau has had enough with this truth. Esau is tired of us exposing him, and he knows that his time is short. These dry bones are coming back together. That standing army. That is exceeding great army. We've been prophesying upon these bones. We've been prophesying upon these bones, and as we've been prophesying, hey, let me just read it. Verse 1, the hand of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. Verse 2, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. Verse 3, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered and said, O Lord, power thou knows. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Thou knowest. And verse 4, again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Verse 5, thus said the Lord, power Yahweh Hashem Yahushai unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Verse 6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Verse 7. So I prophesied, and as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the scene. So our people, started to link up, come together, right? Not seeing 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. They had everything but the breath of life. Verse 9. Then he said unto them, to me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord, power Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. And we were slain, we was dead. Esau, who murders Esau, Edom, and the other heathens, of course. Verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. There you go. This is why these devils are shook. Verse 11. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts, Basically, like, say, terminology, basically, we struggling out here. Like, we catching hell. We in the hood, we in the ghettos, we in the barrios, reservations. We wherever we at, we being oppressed, catching hell, can't get ahead. Verse 12. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord, power Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, O my people, I'll open your graves and cause you to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. So out of that out of the graves, out of Sheol, that lowest state, that hell, and cause you to that black state of mind, that Latino, that Native American red state of mind, which basically different versions of that black state of mind, and that state of mind that our people are in scattered among these heathens. And Sicilians, they come from the tribe of Judah, so they're basically, the way they act, everything's basically the same as Judah, except with a little twist to it, because it's a different landmass, different area basically. It's not American. Verse 13. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Verse 14. And ye shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land, and shall ye know that I, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, have spoken it and performed it, say Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So, on that day, when our people waking up, and what they're recognizing that you shall know that I am Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Ultimately, when our people are back in the land. Verse 15. The word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai came again unto me, saying, behold, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions. Verse 17. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. So the two houses of Yasharallah, both the natural looking, or well, the original looking Jakes, and the Northern Kingdom, both and them and the Israelite foreigners from the southern and the northern kingdom. Verse 18, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Verse 19, say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, I will take the stick of Ephraim, of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Verse 20, and the sticks whereon thou ridest shall be in thy hand before thy eyes. So it's the two houses of the house of Judah and the house of Israel made one, under the house of David, in the hand of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because the house of David, there was one kingdom of Israel, and the house of David is being risen back up. Verse 21, and say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. So also speaking of these Israelite foreigners or strangers, speckled birds, also speaking of them too. Verse 22, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. So the curses being reversed. Verse 23, neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. So all these places where Yasharallah was scattered to, and ended up adopting the practices of the heathen, ended up worshiping their gods, worshiping their idols, because the gods of the nations, their idols, and eventually ended up looking like these other nations. They're gonna be brought back from where they're at. And verse 24, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd. They shall all walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. So they shall all our people are going to be good. We're going to be righteous. That's what this leads to. The reversing of the curses. Alright, us being put back in the land, and they're not going to go off. They're not going to go off. Verse 25, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Fuck, I got a headache. Verse 26, moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. That second covenant, that's what it's talking about. And I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. Verse 27, my tabernacle shall also be with them, yet I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Verse 28, and the heathen shall know that I, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. Forevermore. And that's what's going to come about. That's what the results of this is. Our people getting right with our power. Our people getting right with our power. Our people, the house of David, rising back up. Amos 9 verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and will raise up its ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. That tabernacle of David, the elect scattered to the four winds, not to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west, regathered. His true church, not that so-called church. Oh, Khan. Isaiah 41 verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Khan, fear not, thou worm Jacob. Don't be afraid. Because our people, we don't have a military. We don't have hey, we not even represented in the UN like that. Hey, those people that you think are jakes that are representing those Caribbean nations and those Northern Kingdom nations in the General Assembly, they tears most likely. Yeah, they tears most likely, because they completely sell our people out. Completely. So, who we have to depend on, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yeah. Verse 15. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. So the mountains, they're speaking of these different governments, because a summit is a meeting of governments. And shall make the hills as chaff. Verse 16, thou shalt fan them. Yeah, I always wondered why a meeting of governments was called a summit. That's the reason why right here. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away. Let's go on and get that one too. And the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. So basically we gonna beat them to shreds, basically. Jeremiah 21 verse 12. Good one too. Since the house of David is being risen back up. O house of David, thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go out like fire. So yeah, man, that day is coming. That standard being risen. Oh, you're gonna start a live using StreamYard? Oh, Lord willing, I can join after I'm done. Khan, hey, what's your what's your email, Ak, or yeah, what's your email, Ak? Khan, hey, call out y'all by Shimmy outside. Y'all write this out. I'm willing to make it work. I mean, I'm able to do another live because, hey, my head throbbing. What you do? GMS on the move at gmail.com. Con. Y'all write this out, man. That'd be Yappa. Damn, man. Damn. My head throbbing, man. Shit. Hold on. Oh, Con. Oh, I'm still on. I'm just had to go. I had to do something real quick. Yeah. Oh, Con. I've been waiting. Yeah, Con. With like-minded Akim, we are light of the world. Con. Con. Hey, what city you from? Oh, you in New York? Oh, Con. Hey, so you in the same city where the truth the truth sprung out of, basically. Yeah, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, it's not that much. It's not that much Akim out in where I'm from. Yeah, there's another one that's on my mind. Oh yeah, I was gonna get that Isaiah. Glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai shall lift up a standard against him. So when the enemy shall come in like a flood, and they about to, Yahweh Shem Shai, what he gonna do? He's gonna lift up a standard against them. That spiritual power. Oh, you Home Alone too? Oh, Khan, that would be Yappa. Verse 20, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, from them that, unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, the elect. Yeah, Khan, we living in some great times. Hey, the times when these prophecies are coming to pass. When there's actually a scripture that says that basically the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the past, they've desired to see the things that we've seen, basically. Head, bro. Matthew 13, verse 17. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So basically the elect in the past, they desired to hear these things and to see these things which were seen, these prophecies that they saw in their visions actually come into pass. So hey, that's why verse 16, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. We got that eyesight to see, and the ears The ears to hear. Damn, my head throbbing, yo. Damn. Yeah, my head throbbing. O Khan, a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but a just weight is his delight. Yeah, man. Basically, Esau had his time to he had his time to rule. He had his time, and we was in darkness for so long. Basically, that kind of goes into that, and now it's Jake's turn. Now it's Jake's turn to wake up and rise up. Just wait. That's what you gonna entitle the live out. Hopefully I'm able to join you on there. I don't know, this headache kind of fucking with me. Headache is something else, man. Yeah. Yeah, just let me know what the topic is gonna be. Yeah, man, yeah. The headache be something else. Shit, bro. Hey, yeah, it's kind of late in the game for that. Get the migraines. Get them. You get migraines. You understand what I'm saying? You have to like rest up or just let it. You have to rest up or it's gonna run its course. Fuck. It's late in the game for that shit. I already took one late in the game though. Alright, so yeah, I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but the Spirit beareth witness that they're the children of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And shalom to the real sisters out there. Hey, y'all Ratazai be on here later on. Right now I kind of just gotta I gotta lay down. I lay down right now. Alright, so yeah. Stay strong, Akim and Akwat, hopeful day. Stay strong out there. We're almost out of here. Death to America. Destruction to America. It's coming soon. Ball, can't come soon enough. My Watt level ball, and ball. Can't come soon enough. It's coming soon, Call out Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all praise for that. Alright. So stay strong, Akim and Akwat. Shalom. See y'all later on, hopefully soon.